This is Ted, and I'm the real Ted G. And this is our podcast. I have my producer Bing on the other camera.
Hello.
On the other mic. And so we started to just talk about The Office. And you told me that I should watch, because I'm not a religious viewer of The Office, even though I have been in contact with people that have watched The Office religiously, and they've commented, especially agents that work like coworkers of mine.
Okay.
My agents, my agents here that were there are huge fans of The Office, and one in particular, he actually always commented how there were like interactions in the office or something going on in the office that resembled or pretty much was identical to an episode of or a storyline in The Office. And the characters, you can obviously always, if you look around your own office, you can obviously pinpoint the characters of The Office. Everyone has a Mike.
Everyone has a Mike.
That's Steve Carell.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, is it Mike? Oh, what the hell was it? No, Steve Carell. Michael Scott. Yes, Mike. Yeah. Yes.
And then everyone has the secretary that sits behind the desk, like the love interest, or she's the cute one and she's the adorable one, right? We've had several of those over the years. And then you have the hot shot, which would be the guy who now does
Jim.
Be in the Fantastics, Jim, right?
John Krasinski,
yes, yeah. So you could, maybe that could be a fun board game that I could sell to other offices.
You could
sell 10 of them. Yeah,
10 of them.
Like put the face on the character. But it's the same way when I talk about Gilligan's Island. You can always have a Gilligan's Island. There's always there's always Gilligan. Gilligan is the star of the show. Gilligan, the freaking show is named after him. So everyone has to assume he's the star, right? Except Ginger never assumes that. At least in what we know about Gilligan's Island, the behind the scenes stuff. Apparently Ginger's agent, Tina Louise, her agent sold her on this show. He told her it was about 6 or 7 castaways. 6 castaways. It was about a movie star who's on who gets lost on a deserted island with 6 other people. So she was under the impression the show was about her. I'm not understanding how. Even I am not that self-centered. But the show is not named it's not Ginger's Island. It's So anyway, apparently the actress Tina Louise was always under that impression, and she hated the show, or whatever. That's all rumor. But Gilligan's Island, you can actually see it as a microcosm of society, and you can always pinpoint a Gilligan. You can always pinpoint the professor, the intellectual, and the Ginger character. I always equate her to the character that thinks that they should be the headliner, and they really aren't. They should be happy with being the supporting cast.
Well, we got started on this topic too because we were talking about motivation as well.
Yes, and you said watch seasons 1 through 4. After that, it's garbage.
Yeah,
it's your opinion. That's not the opinion of the show.
Well, you know what it is? Like, okay, a fair judgment of season 1 through 4 is like the best. It's the peak of the show. 5 and 6 are okay. 7 through 9 is when it really goes downhill because they're running out of content. So
I think it's probably twofold. Yes, you may say that you're running out of content. I guess there are only so many things that can happen in an office. Although I've been here about 12, I think we're going on 13 years. Oh, wow, my anniversary's coming up.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, December 12th.
Oh.
So, and I wonder, I have to do the math and see if it's December 12th is the 12th anniversary or if it's number 13. So we've been here 12 years. It seems like we never run out of content. There's always more content. It's never exactly a repeat. Every year is not a repeat of the previous year. So anyway, but when you mentioned that, I said, yeah, I think it's twofold. I understand running out of content, but I also think losing interest. If you're an actor or you're cast in a show and it goes on for so many years, after a while, maybe especially if you're getting doing other things, other projects, these actors, they might do a feature film, play a superhero, all different things, and suddenly do a crazy comedy like The 40-Year-Old Virgin. And they're and it must be, maybe it's just that, wait, it's not, you just lose motivation in this character. It's like, yeah, done that, been so I
it's
think
also the dynamic change too.
What, you mean cast changes?
Yeah, because once Steve Carell left The Office, the whole dynamic of the comedy changed. Because even though it's scripted, a person's personality fills in the gaps that weren't written for the character.
Yeah. It's amazing how actors can act out a certain character, and it could be completely different. You almost can never imagine anyone else doing it. And I agree with you on that Steve Carell's character, I guess, was the backbone of the show.
Yeah.
And it would change. It's a lot like an Office. There's always going to be a central character that if they did get replaced or replaced or eliminated. If we were a soap opera, I'd get decapitated. That's when you know your contract is never coming back.
No.
Yeah, but you're right, though.
Even in real life, like my old job, one of my main bosses died, the other one quit. And it was just so weird without both of them. It was like, oh, this is like not even remotely as fun anymore because the whole dynamic changed.
Yeah.
So then that makes you lose your motivation, I feel, too, is when the dynamic shifts.
It's something that recaptures you, a storyline, like another romantic storyline that really captures you, like to get the audience involvement in it. And to really pursue something, to kind of like, say, attain it. But again, if you're a hit show or if you accomplish a goal, you set a goal, and you always have to set goals. And this is me bringing it all the way back to real estate now. But that's why it's important to always set goals. Because once you accomplish one, you have to keep going. That's the only way I know how to keep motivation. That's the only way to stay motivated. You always have to, reach. I'm gonna get a cliche here. Reach for the stars. Shoot for the stars. Reach for the stars. Shoot for the moon so you hit a star. Or was it the other way around? But it is true. I agree, and I always think you always have to, when you watch television, it's interesting because here's a group of people that are interacting with one another for the course of how many months, and they have to do it year after year after year. It's not that different than a group of people that are interacting with each other in the course of a year over year, and that real estate and real estate agents, and and there is always. Agents leave the business. We all know that. Actually, apparently, since the beginning of the year, I think 60,000 agents have left the industry, and I think we always see a little bit of a reduction in agents as well, right around this time of year when MLS dues are due. So the cast will change or adjust a little bit, but you always have to have your core cast, which I go back to Gilligan's Island. There's always a Ginger. Even if Ginger moves on to another office, there's always somehow a replacement Ginger. There's always another Heather. That's my childhood. That's my childhood movie. There's always Gilligan, but the one cast member that you probably couldn't replace would have been Gilligan because it might not have been the same, and that might adjust the show accordingly. But enough about television. Bing.
Yes.
Oh, chime in. Motivation. What motivates people?
What motivates people? I mean, in real life, as in television or movies, I would say there has to be something that keeps you drawn in, and whether it be a monetary goal, a career goal, a life goal, the phone's ringing, that's
what motivates me. All right.
Oh yeah, the phone ring. Well, that's monetary goals right there.
It's when the phone's not ringing that really motivates me.
Well, you know what it is too. It's like in a good story too. There's just got to be like a reason for you to keep watching, or keep working. So I remember with The Walking Dead. I used to be so into The Walking Dead, and everyone used to call me Carl because I had the really long hair, and I used to wear hats all the time. Sometimes I'd wear a cowboy hat, and Carl died. They killed Carl. And I'm like, bro, you know what? I don't want to watch this show anymore. So I stopped watching.
What was that show? It was an animated show. They killed Kenny.
Oh, South Park?
South Park. Oh, my God.
They kept killing Kenny.
Every episode.
Every episode they killed Kenny, but they kept bringing him back because they knew if you kill a character for good, it's never going to work.
In television, it's very difficult to kill a character for good.
Oh, yeah. Very difficult. Because then you kill your show. That's what they did with The Walking Dead. Now they had all the supporting characters become the main characers because all the main characters got killed off.
So that strikes me as more of an evolution.
It's evolutionary.
An evolution. I don't think I started... maybe I did start out as Gilligan. In my first office. When I first started real estate. Yeah, I definitely started out as Gilligan. Oh, my God. I backed up the toilet.
What?
And then suddenly, there was a flood.
You backed up the toilet?
It happens, and then of course, I mean,
you took a shit this big?
No, it just backed up. It was bad plumbing. Not mine.
Yeah.
No, I'm very normal.
I'm very normal.
Suddenly the toilet. I'm very regular too. The toilet is backed up, and then I hit the print button, but I think I hit like 1,000, and then the printer is printing and just keeps going, and someone's like, "Who's printed so much shit?"
I remember I took
But you know what? I was Gilligan. I am. Well, wait. I may not be Gilligan anymore. Suddenly, I turned into the professor. No,
Evolution.
I was, especially in the beginning. It was like that. You know, just like stepping into like, oh my God, this happened, and then this happened. We always have fun real estate stories. So yeah, I was Gilligan, and not just because I look good in that kind of hat. I actually have a really, really cool hat like that. Not white. It's not a fisherman's hat like Gilligan hat. It's actually made by Prada.
You're gonna have to bring it in for the show.
I'll bring it. It's my favorite hat in the whole wide world.
I had a funny story. What was it? I remember I clogged my toilet and I didn't have one of those snakes to unclog it. It was like massive. Mm-hmm. So I had to go outside and get a stick and start poking the poop with the stick. My parents yelled at me for that.
It is more embarrassing when it happens to be, you know, like a public place or an office.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my God. No, if I ever did that, I'd kill myself.
That kind of stuff has to, you know, that has nothing to do with motivation.
No, it doesn't. But like
motivation to get out of there really fast.
Well, okay, I'll bring it back to motivation. Like like for me, you know, public interactions like that, like silliness, that's a reason I'm always motivated to do new things. Like I like how my business is structured because I get to be in a public setting with people and work in different offices, but then I also get to go home at the end of the day and edit and have like a nice balance between home and being around people. So I don't miss out on being around people, but I also get to, you know, go home and do my editing.
And you know, one of a good motivational it just popped into my head. A good motivational technique is when, you know, people always say, oh, right before I go on vacation I get so busy, especially in real estate.
Okay.
That seems to be, if someone books a vacation or is planning on going away, suddenly it's like everything happens right before, like so busy, and it's not magic, and it doesn't happen because you're going away. Everyone doesn't know that you're going away, so let me bother Ted. But it's actually that I feel we're more motivated to get things done. So it's like we're so much more proactive. Like so, the more proactive you are in real estate, the more things seem to come your way. You know, go your way, come your way, whatever you want to say.
The key is keeping that motivation, that type of productivity.
When you're not going away. Like I've noticed it with these recently. I have one new agent. He's doing calls. I mean, I don't even know where he's finding some of these numbers, and he's getting more results than I've ever seen. I haven't gotten these kind of results from making phone calls. He calls people and then he tells me, yeah, she's thinking about selling in the next 2 weeks. She'll be interviewing realtors. I'm like, oh, well then that means we have to get an interview. Okay, that's awesome. And then he doesn't want to sell the house here, but he wants to sell the house in the city. I'm like, okay, that's it. Wow, keep it up. He's just having great results. Then one of my other agents, he took on a lot of my commercial listings, and he made, I don't know, probably 5 phone calls yesterday, and he has people that we have to line up about, you know, opening up jewelry stores.
Wow.
So, and you know, and that's what I mean about
phone call goes a long way. Like for me, you know what it is, when I sign a new client, or if I get rejected by a potential client, I always make sure on my way home I stop at 2 or 3 businesses or restaurants to try and hand out and get more businesses.
I do the same thing.
You do the same thing, right?
No, those restaurants I usually just have a drink at.
Oh, okay. No, well, still, I mean, you have a drink there, but you meet people.
Right. Yes. No, when I don't get rejected by a client, you know, we get refused by a potential client. When that happens, I just work harder to actually, let me just get 2 new clients. You know, why settle for 1? Let's get 2 new ones. So yeah, I'm remotivating myself. I started yesterday. We went to a nice for sale by owner.
Good.
I know my magic touch.
Well, you know what it is like for me. Like when there's that refusal, there's a brief moment of panic, and then it's like, okay, we'll take control of it. Or if I get the client, there's that brief moment of excitement where it's like, I'm gonna get more. You know, so it's like I use both of those extremes in mood. I sit down for a second.
I'm motivated to make love to the camera.
Make love to the cat. What?
Camera. Hello, camera. No, kidding around. I'm motivated to be funny today, but it's not working.
I'm motivated to speak on mic, but I don't think I'm speaking English today.
Yeah, but it's just such a cool day today. I'm just loving it. It's hump day.
It's hump day.
Yes, don't get your hopes up.
Hey, yo.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day, but it's following all those days of rain, and now we finally have sunlight, and the temperature is almost perfect. I get to wear my sweaters. I love sweaters. I like sweaters more than shirts.
You know what it is? I have sweaters. I wear them early in the morning, but then once it's past 10 o'clock, it's too hot to wear a sweater for me.
Oh yeah, I'll just take it off.
Yeah, but like I hate taking on and off things, especially when I go to the bar, dude. Whenever I go out, if it's past November and before March, I don't go to the bars because I can't deal with the coat and the taking it on and off and the sweat. Ugh, gross, disgusting. I can't deal with it.
Oh, I guess I understand what you're saying. You have to dress in layers. But yeah, if I know I'm only going to go from the car to the bar or the car to the restaurant, I probably will not bring a jacket. Unless what restaurants do you go to? They don't have a coat check?
Oh, no. I mean, I'll go to a restaurant.
The restaurants mostly don't have coat checks.
They don't. But I'll go to...
What I like about our office is we actually have a coat closet. I actually have two.
You have a coat closet?
Well, I have one right here in my office. Okay. For my own personal items. But downstairs, we have a beautiful little coat closet right as you walk in.
What?
There's no reason to leave your coat on a chair, leave your coat on your desk or your neighbor's desk, and suddenly it's like, wait,
whose coat is this?
Yeah,
That's
we have
so
a beautiful
funny.
coat closet, so you never have to worry.
You got to show me that because I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen every room in this office except the coat closet.
You walk right by it.
I do?
Same way, I would probably never want to purchase a home that does not have a coat closet. It's the most convenient thing in the world.
Yeah, it is. We unfortunately used to have a coat rack. That wasn't a rack. It was like a mirror with the hooks on it.
That works.
But we put 40 or 50 coats on it.
No, you have to have a backup. You have to have a set, for winter. So winter coats will go on the rack for spring, but you have to store the other one somewhere else. I love those coat racks. I actually do. I love them with the cabinet underneath and the bench sometimes. I just don't have a big entry hall to say that it, you could actually set it up. I would love to set it up like in a mud room. Yeah. So I'm motivated for a lot of things these days.
Motivated to get Princess Gate.
But I think it helps when the sun lights out, and I was really impressed with my I'm impressed with all my agents, but I was really impressed with these two new agents. My God, they're both very young, and both are motivated on these. They were motivated on those rainy days yesterday, and I was like, "Good for you." Can you imagine how they're going to work today?
Yeah, when it's nice out.
Yeah,
that's how even yesterday, I was like, "Oh, good, I get to do some editing and fix some things that I've been trying to fix." And a lot of people here when it's rainy, they want to be lazy and do nothing. I'm like, bro, you can't do that. Well, here's true
motivation. You have to be bigger than your excuses.
Yes.
If you can be bigger than your excuses, you will never have an issue being motivated.
And then when you also realize you're competing against yourself, and that competing against yourself and winning against yourself will put you ahead of your competition.
That's right. Everybody, be bigger than your excuses.
Yes.
And I'm the real Ted G. And you can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.